Hey fam, thanks for coming back. Today I want to talk about Mercury Retrograde, which is the energy that we are in right now. For those of you who do not know anything about Mercury Retrograde, let me just give you a brief definition of what Mercury Retrograde means. When Mercury is all of the planets spin in a certain direction. They spin in the direction where we could actually see them spin and we know what direction they're spinning in. We could see them clearly spinning. When Mercury or any of the other planets go into retrograde, what happens is it appears to be spinning backwards, but it's really not. So we are currently in the energy of Mercury retrograde. It started yesterday. And during the Mercury retrograde, you need to be very what I suggest is, and what I have done, no, how about this? During the energy and the time period that Mercury is in retrograde, communication, travel, any business plans, business negotiations, contracts, um, your thoughts, your concepts, messages, and the like will be or have the possibility to be slowed down. They may possibly be misunderstood. You might not receive mail. It might get lost during the period. So basically, during Mercury retrograde, anything dealing with communication or your thoughts or contracts or agreements or any communication between you and somebody else, how whatever means of communication that is, your travel, if you're traveling for some type of business event or any type of event, your travel may be delayed or even canceled, or you might have a problem traveling. um, so Mercury basically influences things like your thoughts, your frame of mind, your focal point, mail, email, travel, communication, cell phone, um, the ideas that you try to express to other people, your ideas, your perception that you try to express to other people, discussions, arguments, misunderstandings, when you don't see eye to eye and you're trying to express your point to another individual. Even in the fact whereby you're trying to express love to somebody or gratitude to somebody or adoration or that you forgive them or that you're sorry, that may also be misunderstood by the other individual during this time. So that is just like a brief synopsis of what happens during Mercury retrograde. I will definitely post sites that will give you a more in-depth definition of Mercury retrograde and how long it's happening during this period. I know we're currently in it and it started yesterday. But the reason that I want to talk about that is because I have already experienced some of the effects of Mercury retrograde. And what has happened is the the man that I am dating is going away, and we just spoke on the internet, and he just hung up, just disconnected the connection, just like that. So I understand that we're going through Mercury retrograde. So, and we're also going through Mars is out of orbit. And during the period that Mars is out of orbit, everything is more intense because Mars is like the ruler of masculinity. And when Mars is out of orbit, it like that masculine energy is not pushed out to the outwards. It's more introverted. So you are also getting that you're getting a little bit of femininity with it also. So instead of you getting angry because a homeless person may ask you for some money, what you'll do is you will buy them some food during Mars being out of orbit. So, and During Mercury retrograde, it is the time to be still and rethink, readjust, research, reanalyze, read, because you will be getting more information about everything and anything during Mercury retrograde. So it's definitely a good time not to sign contracts because you're going to be getting all of this new information. And after Mercury turns direct, which is not in retrograde anymore. Direct is when we see it and it's turning the way that it's supposed to be turning. You will have a more complete picture of what is really going on, and that is the time that you pull all of the research that you have done during Mercury retrograde together, all of the information that you have gotten, and you are able to have a broader picture of what is really going on and make a better decision regarding whatever the situation is. And it could be anything. And please understand that I do not believe that Mercury retrograde or Mars out of orbit or anything that happens with our solar system that is typically labeled as bad. Like, I don't believe that, or negative. I don't believe that full moons, necessarily. I think that they do have a tendency, they do definitely affect our energy and they affect the water in our body. But I think that we are told more so that during a full moon people kill themselves, and we're not told about the good things that happen during full moons. And there are tons of great and wonderful things that happen during full moons, more so than horrible things. And I believe that that is so with anything that we have been told that is absolutely so horrible. There's definitely a reason that we're being told that it's so horrible. I mean, and we need to figure out why, because there has to be something good in it that they're hiding from us. Also, that's just my belief, my perspective. Doesn't necessarily have to be true, but I'm just telling you my research and my quote unquote L world. This is what I have found. I just wanted to share that with you. So yeah, I love Mercury retrograde period because it allows me to see the bigger picture. And that's the reason that I want to talk to you, because I understand that we are definitely in this trying type of energy, and it is very important for you to be calm, step outside of the situation, not react when something happens, but definitely meditate on the things that happen that you want to just jump on and be like, yo, what's the problem? Because when he basically hung up, he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to my house and shower and get ready to leave and hope you have a good time. Click. I didn't even get a chance to say bye. So I kind of know what's going on. Mercury retrograde. That on top of a couple of other things, with the intense emotions the intense emotion energy that we're in. So that has brought me to recording this for you all to see that yes, Mercury is definitely retrograde and energy is definitely high. That is not something that would normally happen or that he would normally do unless he was really upset. And he is aware of energy and he does know that Mercury is in retrograde and blah 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 blah. So his actions are allowing me to see a more broader perspective of who he is, which is absolutely great. Um, and I'm like trying to fight smiling because I want to, part of me wants to react, but what I ended up doing was I wrote him back. I called him back immediately because I didn't get the opportunity to say goodbye and travel safely. And I really wanted to say that to him. So I didn't get the opportunity to say that. So I called him back immediately. He didn't answer. I sent him a message saying, you know, did we get disconnected? What happened? We got disconnected. I called you right back. No answer. I called him back again. No answer. I sent him another message. I just called his name. No answer. So I'm just going to leave it alone. That's the only thing that I can do. And my intention on calling back was just to say, travel safely and let me know when you get there. And we could talk, during the interim of you traveling. But I didn't even get the opportunity to say that. So I have decided to just leave it alone. I will reach out again. I don't know, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. I might do it tonight. I don't know. But I am going to try one more time, and then if I do not get a response, then I'm just going to completely leave it alone, because I know that it is very tense during this time, and I do not want to do anything to give the wrong impression. And I think that by reaching out again, maybe later on tonight and tomorrow, is a good idea. I think it is. Yes. And also, I also want to talk about what's happening with, oh, on Wednesday the 8th, we're going to experience a full moon total lunar eclipse. Yay, yay, yay. I'm so excited. I'm going to do a video on that also. Yay, that's going to be really exciting. So yeah, let me tell you what's going on with my beloved. So my beloved has now met five of his 10 guides. And I haven't met one of mine. So I continue to do my jealousy meditation. I have energetically communicated with, I want to say, all of his guides. One of them feels like they are like really standoffish, like I need to do something to be able to communicate with them. But it's not like, I don't have a feeling like they do not ever want to communicate with me. I just have a feeling like I need to do something else within my life, or I need to experience something in order for them to communicate with me. But it's all love. So, and he also expressed the same thing to me with one of his guides. So, and I expressed the same thing to my spiritual advisor, and she said that is his ego. So we will definitely see. But yeah, I'm still going through that. Where's mine? So anyway, what I continue to do when I start to feel like, where's mine? When is it going to happen for me? When am I going to, when? What I do when I am feeling like that within this beloved twin flame eternal connection, I I get obsessed with the things that are me, that are in me, that make me feel good. I get obsessed with reading. I love to read and do research. I get obsessed with symbols. I get obsessed with my gemstones. I haven't really become obsessed with my tarot cards. And I think the reason that I haven't become obsessed with my tarot cards is because when I pick them up and every time I've done a reading, it is just like on point. So it's kind of like, what is really going on here? Oh my goodness. And when I read for other people, it's been like that also. Like, well, maybe, you know what? Now that I'm talking to y'all, fam, I really do need to pick up the tarot cards now, don't I? That's the reason why. Yeah, maybe the reason why it's like is because I do need to pick them up more. And I really do connect with them. Thank you. I am so grateful for you. Thank you. You have helped me realize that, yeah, that's what I need to do. So, yes, that's my suggestion. When you are in this twin flame beloved eternal connection and you're starting to feel down, you're starting to feel that longing, that separation from your twin, that like, I wonder what they're doing without me. Could they be having fun without me? And you feel the things that they're doing and you start to feel more of that separation and more of that longing and that gnawing feeling. You have to turn within. You absolutely have to turn within, and you have to love yourself. You have to date yourself. You have to do all of those things that you know you and your twin are going to do for each other for yourself. And all of those feelings will disappear. And not only do you have to do those things, but you have to do those other things that you love. Oh, I also dance. So it could be anything: singing, music, instruments, swimming, exercising, reading, knitting, crocheting, cycling, working out, cooking, anything. It can be anything that you absolutely love, that you know you're good at and that makes you feel good. Do it. And not only that, you have to go out into nature. You got to put your feet into the ground. You got to hug a tree. You got to take a walk. You have to be around the plants. You have to sit in the grass. You have to talk to a cat or look at the squirrels, or, like, listen to the birds. You have to go out into nature. You have to, because of the energy that you carry. You have to. And sit out in the sun if the sun is around where you are and you are able to, but you have to make sure that you do the things that you need to do for you. Or you know what? Because a lot of times you will get advice from people who are not in this connection and who do not feel the energies that you feel. So not only do you have to do the things that you have to do, you have to do the things that you know that your twin would do for you, or that you know that you would do for your twin, that will make you happy or that will make you smile. You have to do those things for you in order to get them. And that's what I have done in the past couple of days when I didn't do a recording, because I was like really getting into me, because I was starting to feel that longing and that separation from my beloved. Although he would tell me, he would call me and tell me about all of his wonderful spiritual experiences with his guides and all of the things that he was doing, I still felt that disconnection, because in my mind and in my heart, I'm like, okay, so you're experiencing all of these things. You want to find out what your purpose is. When are you going to really find out what your purpose is? And I have to remember that he just started experiencing a lot of spiritual synchronicities this April. So from this April until now, he has been like really open to see these things. I have had alone time for years, so I have seen, felt, read, experienced a lot of the things that he is now experiencing, except for the guides. And that's one of the reasons why I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, when? And when I'm like that, I get into that introverted type of energy where I am quiet. I'm to myself. I don't record too much. And I know that I should, because that is one of the sides that I really want you to see. So I'm going to be more mindful not to be that introverted that I don't record. I'm just going to have to record through all of that fleshy longing and that fleshy disconnection and that fleshy, oh goodness, like the biggest misconception and the biggest lie is that we're separated. And I want to show you how I am physically experiencing the biggest lie, so that you can also see that you're not going through this alone. And although I might experience it a different way, we're still experiencing the same thing. And we can definitely help each other. We can grow from each other, and we can learn and get to the point where we are strong enough to deal with this type of connection and this type of energy, whether or not we are with our beloveds. Because the main purpose of this, of us deciding to be who we are and have this connection with our beloveds, is to serve a purpose. And regardless of how we feel physically, we need to be responsible for the commitments that we have made to ourselves and to the other souls on this planet and to universal consciousness. And I definitely want to I want to be responsible. I want to fulfill the commitment that I said that I would fulfill within this energy, within this contract that I have made with my beloved and with everybody. I've always felt like there was something bigger than this, and now I know that bigger than this, and now I know that there is something bigger than this, and I know the reason, and I will do anything and everything it takes to do what I have to do to fulfill my commitment. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. And I know that you will feel the same way also if you are, and maybe you don't feel the same way because, yeah, maybe you don't feel the same way. Because there are those individuals who are like, you know what? No, no, I don't want to do it. And that's fine also because you also have to remember that there are choices and options, and they have decided to go down a different path and feel different commitments and responsibilities. And that is fine also. That is absolutely fine also. And we need to understand that. We need to understand that and not place judgment on those individuals who are experiencing this type of energy and are in this relationship and have this relationship and have decided not to. That's the choice that they have made, and there's nothing wrong with that choice either, because maybe they feel like the other responsibilities and commitments that they have are more important than this one, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I feel like this one is. I just feel it. Like I didn't when I had like 5 readings to find out if it was true, and I told myself I don't need any of these people to tell me yes or no. I know that this is what I'm experiencing, and you know that you're in this energy. You know that you have this connection with somebody, and when I felt so adamantly about finding out why I felt the way that I felt, why I was having the thoughts, why I was having the feelings, why I was having the emotions, why my body was reacting the way that it was, why I always felt a certain way when I got a message here or this and that. I had to understand that there was no other way for me to live but to understand. And when it finally came to me, it was like, okay, now I understand why everything else has been happening the way that it has been happening. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you also. So it's very important that when you are feeling blue, you do you. Yep, that's what you gotta do. And then you won't feel like that anymore. And make sure, especially if it's around Mercury retrograde, make sure that you also understand that we are in Mercury retrograde, so your emotions will be even more intense. Yeah. So you gotta love yourself, you gotta love yourself, and you gotta love yourself. That's what it's all about. It's about loving yourself. So I just wanted to share that with you all because I have a bad habit of starting to record vlogs and just stopping because I'm going through something. But the purpose of this is to record whatever I'm going through, to share it and to get some help with it. Yeah, so I will stay on it. So fam, thank you so much for spending this time with me to talk about Mercury retrograde and to also let me fill you in on what has been going on in my absence and to tell you what I have been doing to lift up my spirits when I started to get that like disconnect feeling. And you could also take those suggestions to get out of that longing feeling, you could use those suggestions for jealousy also. You could use those suggestions for any of the emotions that are on the other side of the spectrum than happy. So if you're feeling any of the bottom dwelling emotions, those suggestions will definitely help, especially getting out into nature. If you can't work on any of the things that make you feel happy, take a walk, and that will definitely instantaneously lift your spirits. So fam, thank you once again, and I will check y'all later. Love you.